Oh, okay, that's interesting. Kimi Raikkonen.
Nonetheless, I get pole position for the race. Well, and away we go. And we get a fairly terrible start. Rosberg has already got the jump on us. What is that? Rosberg has gone into the pit lane. Oh, yellow flag. That's a car spun out there on the left. As Jensen Button. And Ricciardo trying to get the inside line, but we just cut in front of him. Match it with the transition to the wet weather, pretty much. Looks like quite a few of the AI are pitting on the final lap. Not quite sure why, but who cares about them? They're going to come across the line and win as Kimi Raikkonen, our first race win in our all drivers career mode. I've moved back into third place behind both Mercedes, very close behind Rosberg now, only 5 points. So yeah.
What is going on, guys? Pop1087 here, and I'm here with the 4th installment of my all drivers career mode, part 4 of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first night race of the season. And we want to back up the great result we had last time out in the Chinese Grand Prix. If you haven't already, then go check it out. But we want to back up the result. Maybe pick a good car for this. Maybe like a Mercedes power car, but then again, downforce is key at this track as well, with the tight and twisty Sector 2, very technical, and also the traction zones, quite a few of them in this track. So you want to have a good rear end grip as well. So here we are, the driver's side wheel. Let's find out what driver will be racing as for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Oh, okay, so we'll be driving a Red Bull as Daniel Kvyat. That'd be interesting to say the least. Now let's go out, see how we do for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So we're here now on board with Daniel Kvyat as we're in Q1 with skip practice. Not really much happened as we're going through the final sector, going to the final corner, setting our lap on prime tyres. We'll pretty much easily get through to Q2 on the prime tyres. But while I complete this lap, I'm just gonna say that sorry about the long wait between episodes. I'm going to slow the episodes down, like do like a week or two gap between each episode now, just because I'm gonna run this series all the way till F1 2016 comes out, and that's not gonna be, let's face it, until at least July or August, which is like half a year away. So if I do it like every 1 or 2 weeks, then instead of hurrying it, then I can spend more time editing and getting all the video good quality and stuff like that, and focus on other videos as well on my channel. So this won't be around every week, so don't be surprised if there's a long gap between videos next time. But anyway, we're going to go back on board of the action. Daniel Kvyat in Bahrain as we're going for the final corner. Went a little bit wide there, but it shouldn't have hampered our lap. We're on the option tyres, obviously. Open DRS, and we set a 133.4, and that gets us through the session quite easily in third place. Surprise of the session, though, is Daniel Ricciardo, my teammate, was knocked out in P11, so it's a bit of a surprise to the Red Bull team there. I made it through quite safely, and Daniel was knocked out. But here we go. This is my fastest quali lap of the episode, and we actually run quite wide in turn 1, so it wasn't the best opening to the lap, if I'm honest. And we got a little bit of oversteer on the exit of, I think that's turn 2, so not the best opening to the lap. But the rest of the lap felt very decent. In fact, we pretty much nailed this corner very nicely, hit the apex to perfection, and same with the S curves down here. The setup I'm using for this race is very low downforce, very straight line speed heavy, but then again, the Renault engine lacks straight line speed anyway, so we need all the help we can get. But anyway, we come across the line, set a 133.1. As you saw from the beginning, it wasn't the best lap, so I tried to do it again, but I didn't actually improve. I did a 133.2, but we're fast as a session so far, so we're going to retire, see if we're still fastest, if we still got pole. Let's find out. We're going to retire now, and we still got pole position somehow. I don't know how, but we're now 4 tenths ahead of the rest of the field, even though 2 drivers beat us when I did a 133.3 in Q2. I have a theory that the AI sandbag a lot in this game during qualifying compared to the race. They go much slower in qualifying than they do race pace. It's a bit of a misleading thing, but there you go. So now we're going to go into the race. Let's hope we can convert this pole into a win. Alright, so now here on the grid, under the floodlights, on pole position, in a Red Bull. The strategy is meant to be a 2-stop actually, unlike the other couple of races I think with all 3 stops. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can hit a target. I bet a lot of the AI though are going to do 3 stops, so hopefully this will work to an advantage if we make the 2-stop work. But yeah, pole position, we had a very good qualifying as we just saw. I was actually kind of disappointed we picked the Red Bull for this track. Seems though Bahrain probably wouldn't suit the Red Bull's, you know, high aerodynamics, like through high-speed corners, a lot of straights where we struggle down. But nonetheless, let's see if we are able to convert this pole into a win, carry good pace, good results in this race. Let's go find out. As we're now on the grid, we've got the 5 lights coming up, we've got Massa behind us, Raikkonen behind him. The 5 lights are out and away we go, and we get a terrible start. Once again, Massa's jumped us. There's a Ferrari coming down the left side. Luckily the other cars are staying back for now, but we're going to hold it down the inside of Raikkonen. We tap the back of Massa accidentally as he parked the bus on the apex of turn 1, and I wasn't able to get past him unfortunately, but we're into P2, we're in lost 1 position. We've got Bottas now behind us, so both Williams having very good starts, now 1 and 3. So hopefully they can do themselves good and hopefully steal some points from Mercedes in the championship. Ferrari too, hopefully. As we're going through the first sector now, and we're already a second behind Massa. But let's go back and watch the start. Let's see what happened to Raikkonen, because he was on our outside, and then he just sort of disappeared. So anyway, we're going down the middle of the 2 cars, top the back of Massa, and Raikkonen gets touched by his teammate. I think Bottas is involved in that as well. But there was no spinners, no real crashes, so everyone got through there quite safely. So it's good driving from the AI. And now on the end of lap 2, we're still not that far behind Massa, almost in TRS zone, and there's Bottas still quite close behind us, and he has a train of cars behind him. In fact, by lap 5, I wasn't able to keep up with Massa. He dropped me quite a bit, and Bottas is now caught right up to the back of us as we miss the apex of turn 10, and he's just going to steam up our inside. Not really much I can do about that. I mean, the Williams OP straight line speed obviously shows there against our pretty feeble Renault power unit. And now we have to try and keep the 2 Ferraris and I think Mercedes, I don't know which Mercedes, but we run slightly wide of the hairpin. It's not going to help us. And we get tagged, we get spun. Vettel has spun us. And he just nerves us in the front as well, so he just drives into us for good measure. We spin back round, that's lost us at least probably about 10 seconds. Perez goes past us, we were miles ahead of him. Hulkenberg as well, and our teammate, I think it's going up our inside as we run wide at turn 10, trying to give him room, but we hold it around his outside at least. At least we get DRS, is the only good side I can think of there, really. As Ricardo's trying to have a look, but luckily he actually has the same power unit as I do, and not straight line speed either. But we're now going to look at replay cameras, see what the hell happened and what the hell Vettel was thinking of, because I'm pretty sure I was fully ahead of him and he just tagged my rear. I know I made the mistake, went slightly too deep at that corner, that probably, well, hampered my exit for sure. But he just tagged me. He just pure and simple tagged me in the rear. He just came across like he was normal racing line, like I wasn't there. And he just tagged me around. Nothing I can do there. I don't know what the AI is thinking. I really hope the Vettel's got a penalty from that, because that was just awful driving by him, and he just bolts off in the distance like not giving 2 fucks pretty much. And there's Perez, Hulkenberg. But Force India's doing well this race, so it's good to see. And Ricardo, teammates, just about hold around the outside. I think we touched the iPods there, but not really anything serious. And we're going back on the action where we left off. Still behind Hulkenberg, we're going to have a diving attempt going into the penultimate corner, but well, we went that stick. Hulkenberg has got better traction, though it's worth a try. I think I was still pretty pissed off from that instance that happened a few corners ago. And now we're down at P9. We were, I think, 3rd. That just shows how much we've dropped, and it's probably hampered our tyre life as well, as we had a poor run off on corner. Ricardo's trying to get the move done, but obviously, at least I can actually compete with someone in a straight line. It's my teammate. But I'm actually gaining on Hulkenberg as well with DRS, and I'm going to dive it down his inside and hit the apex quite well and leave Hulkenberg out to dry. But then I get a very, very, very terrible exit out of turn 1. And Ricardo's got past it. I think he gives a little tap there, but that was terrible driving for me. I think I got caught too much on the curb. I had a massive oversteer moment. But then I tried to get the switchback at him there, and he just parks the bus in the apex, and I wasn't expecting him to. And so now he's dropped me by at least a second, so that's not really that good. But now, coming on the end of lap 7, we're coming for the pit stop, going to the other set of option tyres, The strategy said I should stretch out to lap 9, and we just haven't been able to do that. The spin probably has not helped our tyre wear at all, and I just wasn't able to do it. The other cars behind me, they're probably all on the free stop. They're all making their first stop, so this is probably the strategy I'm going to be on now, unfortunately. Very frustrating, but hopefully I can go all aggressive, all out attack. And I think we're in 15th place. We're now getting up to 12th place as many people pit, including Perez, who we've got like a 1 lap undercut on. So hopefully we can make the advantage of. He just joined in front of us, but the AI are often quite slow coming out of the pit lane on their cold tyres. There's a bit of a yellow flag moment there, but it's green now, so we're going to dive up the inside of Perez. Very nice move, hit the apex, and Perez is pretty much nowhere to be seen now. There's no answer for that move. As we're now going to go through the second sector S section. There's a green flag, there's a bit of front wing there, so it's a bit of carnage. Is it one of the front winners who have crashed? I think we're about to see. Is Alonso ahead of us still in P10, so I don't think he's pitted still. As we're going to go through the first sector, we put it down the standards. I think we're running rich mix a lot on the outlap to try and get the undercut on Perez. There's 2 cars ahead, one of them is Alonso, but I can't tell who the other car is from the distance. Is that the one who's lost the front wing? I think we're about to find out. It's Raikkonen! It's Raikkonen! It is one of the front winners. That's good news for us, at least. A little bit of stroke of luck, as he just completely bails out. I think he doesn't have a front wing at all. But we're going to find out in a second, see what happened, as we... Now, right on the back of Alonso, he's going very slowly. So I don't know if he has a problem. It doesn't look like he has a front wing off or anything like that, or a puncture, so I'm not quite sure what happened. Another yellow flag moment back there, so I don't know what the hell's happening back there on the track, but regardless, we're going to dive up the inside of the final corner. We had much better straight line speed going down the back straight, and I think we'll get DRS going down the home straight as well now. But first of all, before I continue in my race, let's take a look back, see how this incident unfolded. Actually happened like a lap before. That's how long ago the incident happened. So this is Massa overtaking Alonso at the inside. Alonso hasn't pitted, obviously, and Massa tries to squeeze Alonso out. Alonso's having none of it, and just spins into the gravel. So about to see, they get caught in the side pod of each other. And Alonso's trying to rejoin the track. Is this where he collects Raikkonen, maybe? Oh yeah, there we go. That was a Ferrari just nerfed in the back, and pretty much in the back side. So there's Raikkonen, probably Vettel. Vettel's right behind him. Minding their business. The McLaren blocking the way. Poor Raikkonen. So not good debut after returning from absence to the Chinese Grand Prix. And he's going really slowly now on the racing line. Completely blocked Hulkenberg. And there might be someone else who crashed off as well. I think we're going to ride on board a Hulkenberg there. Look, there's another car. There might be a Lotus. So we'll have to find out. So now riding on board with Hulkenberg. Have a look, see how the incident folded. And he just wasn't expecting the Ferrari to park on the apex. I don't know if he was trying to avoid him, but just wrongly misinterpreted it. And then we go. I think that's Grosjean collected it. I don't think Grosjean's having the best of luck in this championship so far. I think he's crashed like literally every race so far. So lucky for Grosjean. But at lap 11, I wanted to show you that only now is Ricciardo pitted. So he's definitely on the 2-stop strategy. So we need to try and outsmart our teammate who's on a different strategy. It's going to be very hard to do, because I reckon that's the person I'm going to be racing for the rest of this race, assuming we get out of the midfield runners. But now, lap 15, make our second pit stop onto the prime tyres. The strategy guys were wanting me to go on the primes at the end, but I wanted to try and get the prime stint out of the way and done with as soon as possible. And we caught up to the back of Button. I think he's also on a 2-stop as he goes in the pit lane. And I think Ricciardo is also in the pit lane as well. Oh yeah, there he is. He's appeared at the exit. I don't know how he's jumped us, even though we had like a massive undercut. But then again, that was on the prime tyres, and I think he was on the options. But now we're both on the prime tyres, and he's got the cold tyres once again, as Perez has. So we're going to make the same move up the inside, a bit further back. Going to make another diamond move, and we are brake ourselves slightly, and Ricciardo's going to switch back as we get oversteer on the exit again. Yeah, not great, but we're still going to we nerf Ricciardo slightly in the back there. We're going to dive off the inside of that hairpin in the second sector, and we get the job done. We pretty much force Ricciardo outright there, very aggressive, but there wasn't any contact. But at the end of lap 21, I'm not liking these prime tyres at all. I don't know if they're going off the cliff, what the fuck? Nice English. But Ricciardo just goes up her inside, not really much I can do about that either. And he has no more pit stops to do, whereas I still have a pit stop to make. As you can see, on lap 23, we have to still go for a set of option tyres. And it's going to be about 20 seconds up the road now, which is really unfortunate. But hopefully, on the set of option tyres, we can close him down and he might have a puncture, he might suffer really bad tyre wear. I mean, he'll be on those prime tyres for 11 laps. At least like 4 laps longer than all the free-stop runners. And Verstappen actually jumps as well. I think he's on a 2-stop as well, actually. Luckily we jumped Button, so we don't have to clear him. But on to lap 24, we've got amazing pace on those option tyres the later the race, and we've caught easily up to the back of Verstappen. And we have much more speed through the third sector. We're going to dive up the inside. Easy does it really, no contact. Verstappen doesn't really bother fighting us, and we get the position. We've already gained so much in him as well. And now we're going to try and hunt down Ricciardo, but unfortunately it's to no avail. He was way too far ahead, and we had fuel issues at the end as well, unfortunately. It was 20 seconds, we did get it under 20 seconds. After a few laps, we then decided to back off, just bring the car home in lean mix. Unfortunately, that's P7, not the best race. If I hadn't had that spin with Vettel, I might have been further up, I'm not quite sure, but it's a disappointing race in a Red Bull, the 4th best car I think on the grid. I would have hoped to have done much better, but still, it's solid points, 6 points I guess, and at least I had a glitch-free race, so at least I know I truly earned that position, even though I was beaten by my teammate Daniel Ricciardo. So sensational drive by him to hold out with those prime tyres all the way to the end like that. And no one retired, unbelievably, not even any of the people who crashed that race, like Alonso or Hulkenberg or whatever. Pretty surprising to see, but Nico Rosberg has won the race ahead of Lewis Hamilton and Vettel, and interesting to note, Vettel did not get a penalty. So thanks, Co-Masters, real favouritism for the AI there, thank you very much. And now we're going to have a look at this championship standings, see how that pretty poor race has affected things. And as you can see, I've now moved on to 4th place in the standings. Vettel has jumped up to 3rd on 49 points, and Hamilton is already nearly double the points of me. He's on 86 points, nearly 2 race wins ahead of me. So we've got to get a move on in this championship if we really want to contend for the win. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the race. Please smash the like button. That way I know you support my series and you like me doing these career mode videos. But I'll see you next time for the Spanish Grand Prix. Hopefully we redeem ourselves a bit then. So see you guys then. Palms out.